Hello, happy Martin Luther King Day in the United States, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day as a national holiday here in the USA. This is World University and Schools live hangout on air for Monday, January 21st, 2019. And I'm Scott McLeod. And as we wait for possible people to join us in this live conversation in group video, I'd like to just share some updates and some possibilities for the direction in which World University and School might head. The possibility of, as we code our front end Miraheza World University and School WUaS MediaWiki, which is the wiki we're in presently. It has about 725 pages. They're all editable. You could teach at this wiki right now. Teach something to YouTube, add the video to the World University and School Miraheza MediaWiki, for example, or you could also learn there, go to an academic wiki subject page and find an MIT OpenCourseWare course and begin to study it. As we begin to code our front end with our back end Wikidata Wikibase structured knowledge database in Wikipedia's 300 languages, World University and School would like to code for matriculated students, for registering students in each of 200 countries' official and main languages. So these would be students that became part of the university and were studying towards degrees. Part of this process involves also World University and School accrediting with the state of California's Bureau of Private Post-Secondary Education, and then concurrently WUaS Senior, Western Association of Schools and Colleges Senior, which both Stanford University and the University of California, Berkeley, and the other University of Californias, and many West Coast and some international universities accredit with. So as we begin to code our front end with our back end for matriculated students, for universitians, for volunteers, for end users in our wiki in 200 countries, we'd also like to consider coding for people in all 7,097 living languages as universitians, as teachers and learners in this open wiki. And if we're going to code for speakers of all 7,100 living languages, World University and School would like to explore coding for all 7.5 billion people on the earth, since this is all, in a sense, database stuff, machine learning stuff, coding. And in this process, World University and School might seek to explore how all peoples in these countries might begin to, for example, get their books, get their computers at World University and School's bookstore, computer store planned in all 200 countries' languages, in all 7,000 languages. And in this process, at this time in history, because we would plan for coding for 7.5 billion people, we'd like to also explore the possibility of anticipating or planning for a single cryptocurrency with blockchain ledger. So a single cryptocurrency backed by 200 countries' central banks. And World University and School would seek to build out of something like the euro currency, which is now in 19 out of 28 European nation states, member states, sovereign states. And if we could build out of those 19 out of 28 European Union, European Monetary Union countries, which Euro has about a 20-year history and which unified those 19 out of 28 countries with a common currency, World University and School would seek to make an experiment, even for an universal basic income experiment again, of something like that which has occurred in Finland and Canada and the United States, where in those 19 out of 28 European countries which use the euro, World University and School would seek to explore building on existing social programs in Europe, existing financial markets, something like the Finland UBI experiment, and give 2,000 people each in each of those 19 out of 28 countries a universal basic income of something like $1,300 a month, $15,000 a year, for potentially a limited time, taxable potentially. And in this process, this could become a model for a way to begin to further distribute a single cryptocurrency with or without blockchain ledger, backed by 19 out of 28 central banks in Europe, in the European Monetary Union, and eventually backed by some portion of central banks out of the 200 nation states countries in the world. Backed, so in the Olympics, recent Olympics, there have been about 200 countries competing, and that's in a way our model. So this emergent possible single cryptocurrency backed by 200 country central banks with a universal basic income experiment, perhaps first in the 19 out of 28 European Monetary Union countries, perhaps concurrently with a similar experiment in the 50 US states in the USA, could become a model, an approach in this coding of the World University and School front end Mirrorhaze and MediaWiki with the back end Wikidata, Wikibase, and Wikipedia's 300 languages, for also developing a universal basic income experiment in African countries. There are about 55 African countries. And there, I think the need for a UBI, a universal basic income, might be much greater than the EU. But building out of the euro currency's 20-year history, turning into a single cryptocurrency with blockchain ledger in one form or another, backed by 19 out of 28 European Union countries' central banks, could become a way to benefit Africa. And this also could be extended eventually to Latin American countries, to Central American countries, to Asian countries, to Australia, Australasia, and the rest of the European Union countries, and those countries in and around Russia. And in this process, both code for universitarians learners and teachers among all 7.5 billion people just have that potential code to exist, that potential database to exist. So for free universal education, free to students universal education, that would be MIT OpenCourseWare centric in its 5 languages, and Wiki in Wikipedia's 300 languages, building to 7,100 living languages. And also not only free universal education, but potentially a universal basic income planned with experiments, building on existing financial infrastructure, the euro, and potentially making some experiments in the EU and also in 50 American states and potentially 55 African countries, India, potentially the States and the 22 official languages there. So this would all come out of a coding moment between the WUaS Mirrorhaze and MediaWiki and the Wikidata Wikibase backend for World University and School, at a key time when World University and School is seeking to begin accreditation with the state of California and potentially WUaS Senior. So this is all conceptually big planning and seeking at this interesting time in the information technology age to build on emergent information technologies for education, online education, potentially even for a universal basic income experiments. So that's a little bit of news and some updates from World University and School as we seek to grow. World University and School is seeking about 500 undergraduate students in English this autumn for our second undergraduate matriculated class, autumn of 2019, planning to accredit with the state of California. So students from all 200 countries could apply, register, take 40 classes approximately over 4 years for a free to students MIT OpenCourseWare centric bachelor's degree from their homes, conceptually in Google Group Video Hangouts with graduate students from Stanford and MIT hypothetically teaching sections to the MIT OpenCourseWare faculty in video, the Yale OpenYale Courses, also Creative Commons licensed Yale OpenCourseWare faculty as this online university emerges. World University and School is planning free to students MIT OpenCourseWare centric bachelor's, PhD, law, medicine, and international baccalaureate high school degrees and diplomas, and in all 200 countries, official and main languages. So if you know of students who might be interested in a free to students accrediting online bachelor degree in our second undergraduate World University and School class this autumn, please email info@worlduniversityandschool.org, info@worlduniversityandschool.org. YouTube channel is youtube.com/WORLDUNIVANDSCH. Twitter feed is twitter.com/WORLDUNIVANDSCH. Looking forward to finding approximately 500 undergraduate students in English from all over the world this autumn. World University and School is also Wiki. You can teach and learn openly, freely, at World University and School, and eventually in all 200 countries, main and official languages, and after that in all living languages. In Google Group Video Hangouts, in other group video, eventually also in a realistic virtual Earth. Perhaps conceptually Google Street View with time slider maps Earth, with TensorFlow for artificial intelligence, machine learning, and with avatar bots. So Google Hangouts into Google Street View in a brand new world. Info at World University and School. I'm Scott McLeod. Please join us on Monday mornings at 10 a.m. Pacific time, San Francisco Bay Area, California time, for these open Hangouts for your ideas, your questions. Thank you, and happy Martin Luther King Day.